There is an intriguing detail about the Bible that few people notice. For thousands of years, this book has crossed generations, civilizations, and completely different cultures, continuing to awaken curiosity and reflection. Many see it only as a religious book, while others consider it a historical record or a collection of ancient stories. But what if there is something more than that? What if the narratives of the Bible hold layers of meaning that go unnoticed when we look only at the surface of the stories? Throughout this video, we will explore exactly this possibility. The idea that some of the most well-known passages in the Bible may hide deep messages that remain relevant even today. If you enjoy reflecting on stories that carry deeper meanings and want to explore teachings that have crossed centuries, take a moment now to like the video and subscribe to the channel. This way, you won't miss the next content that explores mysteries, reflections, and interpretations that are often overlooked. When we think about the Bible, it is common to immediately remember some very well-known stories: the creation of the world, Noah's Ark, the crossing of the Red Sea, or the story of David facing Goliath. These narratives have been told for generations and are part of the cultural memory of millions of people. However, there is an interesting detail. Many of these stories seem simple at first glance, but when observed more carefully, they reveal symbols, metaphors, and lessons that go far beyond what appears on the surface. Think, for example, about how many times the same biblical story has been interpreted in different ways throughout time. In some periods, certain accounts were seen mainly as historical events. In others, they began to be understood as spiritual teachings or metaphors about the human journey. This phenomenon shows something fascinating. The Bible is not a book that can be exhausted in a single reading. On the contrary, its pages seem to offer new perspectives whenever someone returns to them with a more attentive eye. And if you have ever noticed that old stories can gain new meanings when revisited years later, keep watching, because this is only the beginning of our exploration. There is a reason why so many people around the world continue to study these narratives today. One of the reasons lies in the way biblical characters are presented. Unlike many epic stories where the protagonists already begin as heroes, the Bible often shows ordinary people facing unexpected challenges. Shepherds, fishermen, travelers, and unlikely leaders appear repeatedly in the narratives, often being called to take on roles that seem greater than their own abilities. This pattern appears so many times that it raises an interesting question. Were these stories recorded only to tell ancient events, or do they also carry a message about the hidden potential within every person? Look at how some of the most remarkable figures in the Bible began their journeys in simple ways. Moses was living a seemingly ordinary life in the desert before facing a mission that would change the destiny of an entire people. David was just a young shepherd when he found himself standing before a giant that no one else had the courage to face. These early moments reveal something curious. Great transformations often begin in extremely simple situations, and here an important point arises for anyone watching. How many times do we underestimate small moments in our own lives? How often do we believe that something extraordinary can only happen in grand circumstances, when in reality, many changes begin in quiet, almost unnoticed moments? This reflection appears repeatedly in the pages of the Bible. Small encounters, seemingly simple decisions, and acts of courage made in unexpected moments often trigger consequences that transform entire stories. If this idea has already sparked your curiosity, keep watching until the end, because in the next moments, we will explore something even more interesting. how many of these narratives also function as symbols of the human journey itself. And perhaps that is one of the secrets behind the Bible's longevity. Its stories do not speak only about ancient events, they also reflect experiences that are still present in people's lives today. Fear, doubt, hope, loss, and new beginnings appear repeatedly throughout the narratives, creating a connection between the past and the present. In the next parts, we will dive even deeper into these details, exploring how certain biblical stories can reveal unexpected meanings when observed with greater attention. There is a detail in the Bible that many people read, but very few truly notice. Throughout the pages of Scripture, certain events seem simple at first glance, yet they hide much deeper meanings. Some of these moments completely change the destiny of ordinary people, men and women who, in a decisive moment, experienced something that seemed impossible. But here is the question almost no one asks. What if these events were not just ancient stories, but messages that still speak directly to our lives today? Throughout this video, we will explore signs, symbols, and biblical moments that reveal how miracles, transformation, and purpose often appear in the most unexpected situations. And perhaps, by understanding these patterns in Scripture, you may begin to notice something surprising happening in your own journey. Before we continue, if you enjoy content that explores the mysteries, deeper meanings, and reflections found in the Bible, make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. That way, you won't miss the next videos where we continue exploring powerful biblical stories full of meaning and inspiration. When we look closely at biblical narratives, we begin to notice that many of the most remarkable moments happened in unlikely places. Moses did not receive his mission inside a palace. David did not begin his journey as a king. And many of the figures who shaped biblical history were living ordinary days when something extraordinary happened. This reveals a fascinating pattern in Scripture. Great transformations often begin in quiet moments. Think about it for a moment. How many times has something seemingly small completely changed the direction of your life? In the Bible, these moments appear again and again. An unexpected encounter, a difficult decision, a journey through the desert, or a storm at sea. Situations that look like challenges, but often become the turning point in someone's story. The desert, for example, appears in many passages. More than a physical place, it represents periods of waiting, testing, and preparation. It was in the desert that many biblical characters faced doubt, fear, and uncertainty. Yet it was also there that direction, purpose, and transformation emerged.